Hello everyone, this is Ananta Padmanabha. We will discuss relations and functions in this video. First, we will define what is an ordered pair. A pair of elements listed in a specific order, separated by comma and enclosing the pair in parentheses is called an ordered pair. So example for an ordered pair is here, that is ordered pair x, y. Next we will define a Cartesian product. The set of ordered pairs x, y such that x belong to x and y belong to y is called the Cartesian product of x and y. It is denoted by x cross y, and it is nothing but set of all ordered pair x, y such that x belong to x and y belong to y. So let us look at an example here. Let us take the set x is equal to 2, 3, 4 and y is equal to 5, 6. Then x cross y, that is Cartesian product, is given by ordered pair 2, 5, 2, 6, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 5 and 4, 6. This is an example for a Cartesian product. Now we will see what is a relation. A relation R from non-empty set x to set y is defined as subset of x cross y. That is, R is a subset of x cross y. A relation is nothing but a subset of the Cartesian product. If ordered pair xy belong to this relation R, then we write x related to y. So we can give many examples for this. So set of all ordered pair AB belong to A cross B such that A is a brother of B and A is a sister of B, and if age of A is greater than age of B, then if we write all such ordered pairs, it is a relation. Now we will see what is a domain and range. Let R be a relation, that is R be a subset of A cross B. Then set of all first elements of the order pair xy, that is set of all first elements of the Cartesian product, that is relation or subset of Cartesian product, is nothing but the domain of R. If you consider all x which are first elements of this ordered pairs present in the relation, then that is nothing but the domain of the relation, and range of the relation is set of all second elements in which the ordered pairs xy belong to R. So let us see an example for this. Let x equals 2, 3, 4 and y is equal to 5, 6, which we have taken in the earlier example. Then this Cartesian product x cross y is given by 2, 5, 2, 6, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 5 and 4, 6 here. 2, 5, 2, 6, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 5 and 4, 6. Domain of R is nothing but 2, 3 here, because I have taken a subset of x cross y. I am taking a subset of x cross y, which is a relation. So R is equal to 2, 5 and 3, 6. This is clearly a subset of x cross y. So I am considering this as relation R. Here first element is 2 here and 3. So domain of R is 2, 3 and range is nothing but set 5 and 6. So you can make a note of this. If x and y are two non-empty sets having p and q elements, that is set x must have p elements and set y must have q elements respectively, then total number of relations from x to y is given by 2 to the power of pq. So this is the number of relations. This formula can be used to find the number of relations from x to y. Now let us look at the types of relations. Let A be a set and R is a relation on A, that is R is a subset of A cross A. So we are considering a set A and we are considering the Cartesian product A cross A, and R is a relation, that is R is a subset of A cross A, then we can define these relations. So let us see what is a universal relation first. R is equal to A cross A. So we know that every set is a subset of itself. So it is a trivial subset. So here if you consider A cross A and R is equal to A cross A is nothing but the universal relation. So you can see example 1, 3, 5 here. A cross A is nothing but every element must commute with every element, that is 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 5, 5, 1, 5, 3, 5, 5. So this is nothing but A cross A, and if you take R as this A cross A, then this A cross A or R is nothing but the universal relation. Now let us see what is a void or empty relation. A relation R in a set A is called an empty relation if no element of A is related to any element of A, that is nothing is related to any element of A. So that is R is equal to empty relation, which is a subset of A cross A, because the empty set is considered as subset of every set. So here let us take an example which A is equal to 1, 8, 11 and R is equal to set of all AB such that A minus B is equal to 5. I have to write all the elements from set A such that whose difference is 5, that is A first element minus second element must be 5. So if you consider 1 minus 8, it is the difference of 1 and 8 is 7, difference of 8 and 11 is nothing but 3, and difference of 1 and 11 is nothing but 10. So difference of any two elements will not give 5 in this set A. So therefore R is empty relation, that is difference of A minus B or A minus B is equal to 5 is an empty relation. So now let us see what is a reflexive relation. A relation R on a set A is called reflexive if AA belong to R for all A belong to A. For every A belong to the set A, ordered pair AA must belong to R. So let us look at this example. Let us take A equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Then R is equal to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 and 2, 3 is here. But we need this 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4. This must be present. That is AA should belong to R for all A belong to A. If 4, 4 is not present in this R, then it is not a reflexive relation. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 must belong to this R. Any other ordered pairs might be there, but this is compulsory, that is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. That is AA must belong to R. This ordered pair AA must belong to R for all A belong to A. Such a relation is called as a reflexive relation. Here if you take A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, then R equals 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is not reflexive relation because 4, 4 is not present here. Next let us see what is a symmetric relation, and we will see an example also. A relation R on a set A is said to be symmetric. It is said to be symmetric if ordered pair AB belong to R implies BA belong to R. That is, if A is related to B, then B must be related to A. So this condition we should be very careful here. If AB belong to R, then only BA belong to R. If AB belong to R, then BA must belong to R. Such a relation is called as a symmetric relation. So let us take A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then R is equal to ordered pair 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2 and 2, 3 is symmetric relation because you can observe 1, 2 is here and 2, 1 is also here. 1 related to 2 implies 2 related to 1. 3 related to 2 implies 2 related to 3. So clearly this is a symmetric relation. So let us see a relation which is not symmetric also, so that the definitions will be very clear. So you can take this another example. A is equal to set A equals 1 2 3 4, then R is equal to this relation 2 3 3 2 3 4 is not symmetric, because you can observe I have 2 3 and 3 2, but I have 3 4 here, but 4 3 is not in this relation. That is 3 is related to 4, but 4 is not related to 3. So it is not a symmetric relation. Similarly, if you take set A equals 1 2 3, then R equals 1 1 2 2 is a symmetric relation, because if A is related to B, then B must be related to A. Here 1 is related to 1 and 1 is related to 1. 2 is related to 2 and 2 is related to 2. So clearly this is a symmetric relation, but this is not a reflexive relation. If AB belong to R, then BA must belong to R. This is the condition. Let us see what is a transitive relation. A relation R on the set A is said to be a transitive relation if ordered pair AB belong to R and BC belong to R, implies AC belong to R. So we have to note this condition. If A is related to B and B is related to C, then A must be related to C. So we will see the example. Let A equals 1 2 3 4, then R is equal to the relation R equals 2 4 4 1 and 2 1. Here 2 is related to 4 and 4 is related to 1 and 2 is related to 1 here. So this is clearly a transitive relation. 2 is related to 4 and 4 is related to 1. So 2 is related to 1, that is also present here. Therefore it is a transitive relation. See, 4 is related to 1, but 1 is not related to any element, so we need not consider that. Similarly 2 is related to 1, but 1 is not related to any element. So but the thing is 2 4 belong to R and 4 1 belong to R, implies 2 1 belong to R. Therefore this is a transitive relation. So let us look at another example. Here 1 2 3 4 is the set. R is equal to 1 3 is a transitive relation, because transitivity is not denied. Transitivity is not denied in this case. So 1 related to 3, but 3 is not related to any element. If 3 is related to any element, then we have to check whether that 1 is related to that element, particularly which 3 is related. So this is clearly a transitive relation. 1 is related to 3, but 3 is not related to any element. That is why clearly this is transitive relation. So here I will consider the same set A equals 1 2 3 4, and I will consider R as 1 2 2 3 1 3 and 2 4 is not transitive, because you can observe here 1 is related to 2 and 2 is related to 3 and 1 is related to 3. That is not enough to say that it is transitive. Here 1 is related to 2 and 2 is related to 4, but 1 4 is not present in this R. That is ordered pair 1 4 is not present here. 1 is related to 2, 2 is related to 3, implies 1 is related to 3 is not enough to say that it is transitive. I have to check other relations also. So 1 is related to 2 and 2 is related to 4 here, but 1 is not related to 4. That is 1 and 4 is not present in this set. Therefore that in this relation, therefore it is not a transitive relation. Now we will define what is an equivalence relation. Let us see what is an equivalence relation. A relation R on the set A is said to be an equivalence relation if R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So that is, if the relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then we say that that relation is an equivalence relation. So we will see an example here. If A is equal to 1 2 3 4, that is set 1 2 3 4, I am considering R is equal to 1 1 2 2 3 3 and 4 4. So this is also called as an identity relation. We will see later. So 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 is an equivalence relation, because XX belong to or AA belong to R for all A belong to this set A. That is why it is reflexive. It is symmetric because for all AB belong to R, BA belong to R. And if A is related to B, B is related to C, then only A must be related to C. So here 1 is related to 1, but 1 is not related to any other element. In that sense, it is clearly an equivalence relation. So let us consider another example. R is equal to 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 1 3 and 3 1 is also an equivalence relation. So this is reflexive because 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 all the elements are related to themselves. So that is 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 is present in R, and 1 3 belong to R implies 3 1 belong to R, so it is symmetric. And 1 related to 3 and 3 related to 1 implies 1 related to 1 here. So it is clearly transitive, therefore it is an equivalence relation. Next we will see what is an identity relation. A relation R on a set A is said to be identity relation if ordered pair AA belong to R for all A belong to A and ordered pair AB does not belong to R. That is, we must have only AA belong to R for all A belong to A, and there should not be any other ordered pairs. So such a relation is called as identity relation. See, you can see this example, A equals 1 2, then R equals 1 1 2 2 is an identity relation, as well as this is a reflexive, symmetric and transitive also. So every identity relation is an equivalence relation. So we have to note this, every identity relation is an equivalence relation. Now antisymmetric relation. A relation R on the set A is said to be antisymmetric if AB belong to R and BA belong to R implies A is equal to B, or we can also say AB belong to R and BA does not belong to R implies A is not equal to B. That is, R is antisymmetric if A related to B and B related to A implies A is equal to B only. Then such a relation is called as antisymmetric relation. So here is an example. Let us consider the set A equals 1 2 3 4. Then I have 3 4 and 3 3 here is antisymmetric because A equals 1 2 3 4, and this is another example. See, A equals 1 2 3 4, R is equal to 3 4 3 3 is antisymmetric relation. So because 3 3 belong to R and 3 3 belong to R means 3 is equal to 3, that is A is equal to B here, only this 3 and 3. So this is not symmetric because 4 3 does not belong to this set. So clearly this is anti-symmetric. So you can see another example, 3 4 and 4 3. This is not anti-symmetric, whereas this is symmetric relation. 3 related to 4 implies 4 related to 3. So clearly this is not anti-symmetric, whereas this is symmetric relation. So let us see what is an inverse relation now. The inverse of a relation R, denoted by R inverse, is obtained by reversing each of the ordered pairs of the R and is denoted by R inverse. Here we can obtain R inverse by taking the reversed ordered pairs. Clearly, if R is a subset of A cross B, then R inverse is subset of B cross A. We write R inverse is equal to set of all ordered pair Yx such that Xy belong to R. So I have to take the reversed ordered pair to get R inverse. So Xy belong to R implies and implied by Yx belong to R inverse. That is, if Xy belong to R, then we can say that Yx belong to R inverse. On the other hand, if Yx belong to R inverse, then we can say that Xy belong to R. It's clear that domain of R inverse is nothing but range of R, and range of R inverse is equal to domain of R. Also, inverse of R inverse is R. So we can take an example here. Let A is equal to 1 2 3 and B is equal to A B C. If R is equal to, I am considering this relation, 1 related to A, 2 related to A, 3 related to B, and 3 related to C. Clearly this is a subset of A cross B. Then our universe is given by the universe, that is reverse the ordered pair A1, A2, B3 and C3 here. That is, if R equals 1A, 2A, 3B, 3C, then reverse this ordered pair A1, A2 here and B3 here and C3, which is clearly a subset of B cross A. If there are n elements, in the set A, then the number of reflexive relation on A is given by 2 to the power of n square minus n. This is the formula to find the number of reflexive relations on the set, on the relation R, which is a subset of A cross A, if number of elements in A is n. Similarly, the number of symmetric relations on A is given by 2 to the power of 1 by 2 into n square plus n. So this formula gives you the number of symmetric relations on the set A. Similarly, the number of equivalence relation on the set A is given by 2 to the power of n minus n. Now we will look at a few previous year CET questions. If R is equal to 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 3 3, 4 1 is a relation on A is equal to 1 2 3 4, then R is not reflexive but symmetric. Option 2 is R is reflexive but not transitive. R is neither reflexive nor transitive. None of this. Clearly, let us look at this first question first. R is not reflexive but symmetric. Is R reflexive? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 elements here. I have 1 1 here. I have 2 2 here. I have 3 3 here. But 4 4 is not present in this set. Therefore, R is not reflexive. This half part is correct. Let us check whether it is symmetric. I have element 4 1 here, but 1 4 is not present here. 1 4 does not belong to R. Therefore, it is not symmetric. So option A is not correct. R is not reflexive but also not symmetric. Next, R is reflexive. So this option is wrong now because R is not reflexive. We have seen that. R is neither reflexive nor transitive. So let us see whether it is transitive or not, so that we can conclude the answer. We have 4 related to 1 here. 4 is related to 1 and 1 is related to 2 here. But 4 is not related to 2. That is 4 2 is not present in this set. 4 1 belong to R and 1 2 belong to R, but 4 2 does not belong to R. Therefore, R is neither reflexive nor transitive is the right answer. So 4 1 belong to R but 1 4 does not belong to R implies that R is not symmetric. Also 4 1 and 1 2 belong to R but 4 2 does not belong to R. Therefore, R is not transitive. Therefore, R is neither reflexive nor transitive is the correct answer. So option 3 is the right answer. Which of the following relation on n is reflexive? First option is x is greater than y. X comma y belong to n. So we know that any element, any natural number cannot be greater than itself. X cannot be greater than x. Therefore, this first option is not a reflexive relation. X plus y is equal to 10. Xy belong to n. So we know that 2 plus 2 cannot be 10 or 3 plus 3 cannot be 10. That is, x plus x cannot be 10 always for all natural numbers. So because we can find numbers whose sum is not 10, So you can consider 4 plus 4, which is equal to 8, not equal to 10. So this is not a reflexive relation. Xy is a square of an integer. Xy is a square of an integer. That is, I have to consider x into x here. That is, x into x is x square here, which is square of an integer. Therefore, answer 3 is the right answer, and we need not check this fourth option because we got the answer as option 3 here. If f of x is equal to 2x square, it is given that f of x is equal to 2x square. I have to find f of 3.8 minus f of 4 divided by 3.8 minus 4. So as usual, I have 4 options. Option A is 1.56, option B is 156, option B is 15.6, and option C, that is option 4, is 0.156. So instead of directly substituting this 3.8 and squaring it and multiplying by 2, so let us consider this f of a minus f of b by a minus b. This is in the form of f of a minus f of b by a minus b here. So therefore, if you consider f of a minus f of b by a minus b, we have f of x is equal to 2x square here. F of x equals 2x square means f of a is 2a square, f of b is 2b square. So f of a minus f of b is 2a square minus b square, 2a square minus 2b square in the numerator. When you take 2 common here, you get 2 into a square minus b square by a minus b. This a square minus b square can be written as a minus b into a plus b. So then a minus b will be eliminated and we are left with 2 into a plus b. Here a is nothing but 3.8 and b is nothing but 4. So let us add and multiply by 2. So that is 2 into 7.8, which is 15.6. This is the required answer. So in this question, you have been asked to find f of 3.8 minus f of 4 divided by 3.8 minus 4. F of x is given as 2x square, and we considered f of a minus f of b by a minus b, and f of a is 2a square, f of b is 2b square. So in the numerator it is nothing but 2 into a square minus b square by a minus b, and a square minus b square is taken as a minus b into a plus b divided by a minus b. Therefore a minus b is eliminated. We are left with 2 into a plus b, which is nothing but 2 into 3.8 plus 4, because a is taken as 3.8 and b as 4. Therefore we have 2 into 7.8, which is 15.6. Answer is 3. That is option 3 is the right answer for this question. The domain of the function f from R to R, here, defined by f of x is equal to square root of x square minus 7x plus 12 is. So we know that x square minus 7x plus 12 should be greater than 0. It should be greater than or equal to 0. Then only this will be a real number. So we have 4 options here: minus infinity to 3 of closed interval, intersection 4 to infinity, and union of minus infinity 3, 4 infinity. Both are of closed intervals, and open interval 3, 4. And I have union of closed intervals minus infinity to 3 and 4 to infinity. So here I have intersection and here I have union. Here union of this and open interval 3, 4. So let us look at the solution of this question. So let us consider x square minus 7x plus 12 greater than or equal to 0. If you factorize this, you will get 3 and 4. So you know that x minus 3 into x minus 4 are the factors for this. X square minus 7x plus 12. X minus 3 into x minus 4 should be greater than or equal to 0. That is, x is x does not belong to this interval 3 and 4, because if it belongs to 3 and 4, if x is equal to 3, this becomes 0. If x is equal to 4, this becomes 0 here, and that should be greater than 3, and it should be less than 3, and it should be greater than 4. So therefore domain will be minus infinity 3, that is 3 is included here, because this can be 0, but it should be greater than or equal to 0. If you take an element or a real number between 3 and 4, you can observe that this becomes negative. This becomes negative here. So that is why I have to consider this interval minus infinity to 3 union 4 to infinity. That is option D as the right answer. So because 3, 4, between 3 and 4, if you take any number, and you can check leisurely, if you take any number between 3 and 4, this becomes negative number. Once if this is negative number, this will be a complex number. So we have domain and range as set of real numbers. Therefore answer is D. Answer is D here. Now let us see some of the definition of 1, 1, onto, bijective, identity, constant functions like this. So we define the functions what we learnt in the second year. So you know that function is also a special type of relation. If a relation from A to B is said to be a function if each element of A is associated with unique element of B. That is, if every element of a function is defined as an association from set A to set B, if every element of A is associated with unique element of B. Here we are considering a function f from A to B. Then f is called 1, 1 function if f of A equals f of A dash implies A equals A dash, or if A is not equal to A dash, then f of A is not equal to f of A dash. So then we say that the function is 1, 1 or injective function, or we can say distinct elements are mapped to distinct elements. Distinct elements have distinct images. Such a function is called as 1, 1 function or injective function. If every element of B is the image of at least one element of A, if every element of B is the image of at least one element of A, that is, if the range is equal to codomain, then we say that the function is onto or surjective function. So you can take these examples. So distinct element goes to distinct elements is 1, 1 function. If every element of if every element of this set B has pre-images, then it is onto. Here if you consider A, B, C here, 1, 2, 3 here, this is clearly 1, 1 and onto. If I write 4 here, this is not onto. If I map two elements to the same element, then it is many one function. If it is both 1, 1, if it is both 1, 1 and onto, that is called as a bijective function here. If it is both 1, 1 and onto means it is bijective. So this is an example for a bijective function without this element 4 here. 1 goes to 1, B goes to A goes to 1, B goes to 2, and C goes to 3. So 1, 1 function, onto function, and bijective function. So let us see what is an identity function. So identity function is one where every element of A is mapped to itself. So that is, if you consider the set A here, and if I have many elements like this A, B, C, and each element is mapped to itself, that is A, B, C. Identity function is mapped on the same set, that is A and A. So that is called as identity function. If f of A is equal to A, for all A belong to A, then we say that the function is an identity function. Now let us see what is a constant function. If f of A is equal to B, B belong to B, for all A belong to A, that is range of f is a singleton set. Singleton set means it contains only one element. See, that is all elements here are mapped to a single element, say B here. All elements are mapped to a single element. Such a function is called as a constant function. A is a set having 6 distinct elements. A is a set having 6 distinct elements. The number of distinct functions from A to A which are not bijections is 6 factorial minus 6, 6 to the power of 6 minus 6, 6 to the power of 6 minus 6 factorial, and option D is 6 factorial. So the question is, the set contains 6 distinct elements. That is, set A contains 6 distinct elements here. The number of distinct functions from A to A which are not bijective functions. See, number of functions minus number of bijective functions. See, number of functions from A to A is given by n to the power of n. If the set A contains n distinct elements, then the number of functions is given by n to the power of n, that is 6 to the power of 6 here. And number of bijective functions is given by 6 factorial. So the functions which are not bijective is given by 6 to the power of 6 minus 6 factorial. 6 to the power of 6 minus 6 factorial. So which is in option C here. Which is in option C. That is 6 to the power of 6 minus 6 factorial. So you can note this. Number of functions from set A to set A containing n elements is given by n to the power of n. This is the number of functions from set A to set A itself. And number of bijective functions from set A to set A is given by n factorial. So n to the power of n minus n factorial, n to the power of n minus n factorial is the functions which are not bijective. Here I have 6 elements, therefore 6 to the power of 6 minus 6 factorial. So this shortcut formula will help you to find the number of functions, number of bijective functions, and number of functions which are not bijective also. So here is another question from CET which appeared in the last year. Here, if A is equal to set of all x such that x belong to n and x is less than or equal to 5, I have to consider all natural numbers less than 5 here. So that is by less than or equal to 5. So we are taking set A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and set B is also set of all x such that x belong to n and x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. I have to factorize this. So we know that the factors for x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0 is 2 and 3. So that is set B is equal to 2, 3. Then the number of onto functions from A to B is given by 32, 32 and 23. See, I have 5 elements in set A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 elements in set A and 2 elements in set B. So clearly we can define onto functions from set A to set B, whereas we cannot define 1 functions because we have more number of elements in set A. If number of elements in A is greater than number of elements in B, then 1 function is not possible. If number of elements in B is greater than number of elements in A, then onto function is not possible. Here number of elements in A is greater than or equal to number of elements in B. Clearly we can define onto function and we cannot define 1 function. So we will use the fact that number of elements A is equal to number of elements in A is equal to n and number of elements in B is equal to 2. N is greater than or equal to 2 here. Then the number of onto functions from A to B is given by 2 to the power of n minus 2. So you can remember this formula. Here n is equal to 5 because number of elements in A is 5 here. So 2 to the power of 5 minus 2, that is 32 minus 2, which is equal to 30, which is in option A. So option A is the right answer for this question. Let f, G from R to R be two functions, that is we have f is a function from R to R and g is also a function from R to R, defined as f of x is equal to modulus of x plus x and g of x is equal to modulus of x minus x for all x belong to R. Then find f composition g of x for x less than 0. So to find this, I will take a number less than 0 here, that is, let us take x is equal to minus 1. When we take x is equal to minus 1, let us consider f composition g of x, that is, instead of x I will be taking minus 1 here. F composition g of minus 1 is equal to f of g of minus 1, that is, by the definition of composition of functions, f composition g of x is f of g of x, that is f of g of minus 1. So let us see what is g of minus 1. Here when you put x is equal to minus 1, modulus of minus 1 is plus 1 minus of minus 1 here, so you will get 2 here. So that is g of minus 1 is 2. So I have f of 2. So now I have f of x is equal to modulus of x plus x. F of 2 is modulus of x plus x. Therefore when you give x is equal to 2 here, I have modulus of 2 plus 2 which is equal to 4, which is equal to 4 here. So therefore I have f composition g of minus 1 is equal to 4. For the value such as x less than 0, I will get this minus 4x here. Answer is minus 4x, because for x less than 0 we have option C as the right answer, because f composition g of minus 1 is equal to 4. But when you consider minus x here, you will get the value 4 here, because if the x is less than 0, I have to take this x as minus x. So therefore it is minus 4x. Minus 4x is the correct answer. Option C is the right answer here. If f from R plus to R, that is set of all positive reals, that is R strictly greater than 0 to set of all reals, range is R here, is defined by f of x is equal to x cube minus x plus 10 for all x belong to R plus, then f inverse of 10 is equal to, I have 0 1 minus 1, 1 here, 1 minus 1 and 0 1. So I have given with 4 sets in the options. So clearly this domain is given as R plus. So when we take the inverse of this function, the range of this inverse function is nothing but the domain of f, so which contains only positive numbers. So clearly option A is not the answer, option C is not the answer, and we cannot include 0 also here, we have taken it as R plus. So therefore 1 is the answer, because f of 1 is equal to 10. F of 1 is 10 here. See, 1 cube minus 1, that is 1 minus 1 is 0, and we get 10 here. So f of 1 is 10. F of 0 is also 10, and f of minus 1 is also 10 here. When you give minus 1 here, I will get minus 1, minus of minus 1 plus 1. So it will be eliminated and you will get 10. For all the values 0, 1, minus 1, we will get f of x as the 10 only. But while taking f inverse, the domain is R plus. So we will take the answer as B, that is the singleton set containing 1 only. So 0 is considered as neither positive nor negative. So therefore option B is the right answer. So in such cases, while finding the inverses of this, because f inverse of 10, so when you give x is equal to 1 only, then the answer is 10 out of this. 1 is the number from the set of positive real numbers. If f from R plus to R is a function such that f of x into y, this is f of x into y, is equal to f of x divided by y for all x comma y belong to set of positive reals, and it is given that f of 500 is equal to 3, then what is the value of f of 600? So we have option A as 1, option B as 2, and option C as 5 by 2, and option D as 3 here. See here, I have to find f of 600. I have to find f of 600. So I consider f of 600 here, f of 600, which is equal to f of 500 into 6 by 5. I am writing like this because I know the value of f of 500, and the 600 can be written as 500 into 6 by 5 because 5 ones are and 5 hundreds are 500. So 6 into 100 is 600. But we have f of xy. F of xy is equal to f of x by y. Here f of, you can observe here, f of x into y is equal to f of x divided by y. So f of 500 into 6 by 5 is equal to f of 500 divided by y is 6 by 5. F of x into y here, x is 500, so that is f of x, and y is 6 by 5, so divided by 6 by 5. So that is equal to f of 500 is given as 3 and divided by 6 by 5 here, y. So it's given f of 500 is 3. So now you can carry this 5 to numerator, and 3 ones are 3 twos are 6 here. So answer is 5 by 2. That is option C is the right answer for this question. If f from R to R is a function such that f is both even and odd function, then f of 2012 is equal to, option A is 2012, option B is 1, and option C is 0, and option D is minus 2012. So we know that a function f of x is said to be an even function if f of minus x is equal to plus f of x. Similarly, if f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, then this function is nothing but odd function. If f of minus x is equal to plus f of x, then the function is even. F of minus x is equal to minus f of x means it is an odd function. A function can be neither even nor odd, but a function cannot be both even and odd. So only such function which is both even and odd is f of x is equal to 0. So therefore f of 2012 must be 0 only. That is option C is correct. So a function can be both even and odd function only if it is a 0. That is a 0 function. F of x is equal to 0. If there are 5040 bijections from A to B, then number of elements in A cross A is 7, 16, 25 and 49. See, the formula for the number of bijections from A to B is given by n factorial. Here I have set A only. Set A to B means I have to take set from A to A only here because it's given that it is A cross A. Number of bijectives is given by n factorial. So it's given that n factorial is equal to 5040. Therefore n is equal to 7 because 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is nothing but 5040. Hence the number of elements in A is 7. But we need number of elements in A cross A. If number of elements in A is m and number of elements in B is n, then it is given by number of elements in A cross B is m into n. Here I want the number of elements in A into A, that is A cross A. Therefore 7 into 7, that is 7 square, which is 49. So number of elements in A cross A is 49 here. So that is option D is the right answer. Number of onto functions. The number of onto functions from 1, 2, 3, etc. n, where n is greater than 2 to 1 to is 30. So it's clearly given that number of onto functions is 30 from set 1, 2, 3 up to n, where n is greater than 2. To the set B as 1, 2 only, that is I have 2 elements in set B. Then I have to find the number of elements in this set A. So that is the value of n is equal to 6, 3, 5 and 4. Let A equals 1, 2, 3 up to n and B is 1, 2. This is given. The number of functions from A to B is 2 to the power of n. Out of these functions, only 2 are constant functions, which are not onto functions. That is, when you define a function like this, there will be few constant functions. That is, we have some elements in set B which will not be having pre-images. So such a functions are not onto functions. So usually when you have 2 elements here, there will be 2 constant functions. So you can look at this. I have elements 1, 2 here. Here I have few elements. See, if all elements are mapped to 1, that is one function which is a constant function which is not onto. Similarly, if all the elements are mapped to 2, then 1 will not be having pre-image. So that is another function which is not onto. So we have the formula for onto functions given by 2 to the power of n minus 2, where 2 is nothing but the constant functions here. So here it is given that there are 30 onto functions. So that is 2 to the power of n minus 2 is equal to 30, or I can say 2 to the power of n is equal to 30 plus 2, which is 32. So for n is equal to 5, I have 2 to the power of n is equal to 32. For n equals 5, I have 2 to the power of n as 32. So therefore answer is 5. That is, option C is the right answer for this question. The domain of the function f of x is equal to log to base 2 of log to base 3 of log to base 4 of x is given by open interval 0, 4, open interval 4 to infinity, and x lies between 0 to 2 and x lies between 2 to 4 are the options. Here we know that logarithm of a number to any base is defined only if x is greater than 0. Here this is defined for log x to base 4 greater than 0 only. That is, f of x is defined if inside this bracket, that is whatever is present in the square bracket, must be greater than 0. I have base 2 here. This function f of x is defined for the term inside the bracket must be greater than 0. So that is, f of x is defined if log to base 3 of log x to base 4 is greater than 0. So by the definition, this implies that log x to base 4 is greater than 3 to the power of 0. So because let me explain here. We have log x to base a is equal to m, means x is equal to a to the power of m. This is the definition of logarithm. So by the definition of logarithm, here log to base 3 of log x to base 4 is greater than 0 means log x to base 4, that is this term inside this open bracket, is greater than 3 to the power of 0, because I have 0 here. So here base is 3, therefore it is 3 to the power of 0. Log x to base 4 is 3 to the power of 0. So 3 to the power of 0 is 1 here. So log x to base 4 is greater than 1. Or I can say x is greater than 4. This is because x is greater than 4 to the power of 1 by the definition of logarithm. So x is greater than 4 means it must be greater than 4 and up to infinity, that is 4 infinity. This open interval 4 infinity, where 4 is also not included. So clearly answer is B for this question. The relation R defined on real numbers by A related to B if A minus B is rational is reflexive but not symmetric is option A, Symmetric but not transitive is option B. Transitive but not reflexive is option C. And reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So you know that x minus x is 0. That is, if you consider two rational numbers and if you take the difference, that is 0, clearly 0 is a rational number. Therefore R is reflexive. Similarly, if x related to y and y related to x, x related to y implies y related to x, because if x minus y is a rational number, then y minus x is the negative of that number is also a rational number. Therefore R is symmetric. It's typed as transitive here. It is symmetric. R is symmetric. And next let us see whether it is transitive or not. Let x related to y and y related to z implies x minus y and y minus z belong to Q. If x is related to y means x minus y is a rational. Y related to z means y minus z is rational. Let us take the sum of these two numbers. That is, y is eliminated, x minus y plus y minus z, which is equal to x minus z. Clearly this belong to Q. So x is related to y and y is related to z implies x is related to z. Therefore R is transitive. So this relation a minus b is rational. That is subtraction of two rational numbers is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. That is, it is an equivalence relation. So option D is the right answer for this question. The function f from this set of R plus, that is closed interval 0 to infinity, of closed interval 0 to infinity to the same interval, that is domain and range are same here, defined by f of x is equal to x by x plus 1. So 0 is included here. X by x plus 1 is 1 1 but not onto but not 1 1. It is bijective, not objective. It's bijective here. Neither 1 1 nor onto. Neither 1 1 nor onto. So let us consider this function f of x is equal to x by x plus 1, which is equal to x plus 1 minus 1 by 1 plus x. I am writing this x as x plus 1 minus 1, so that this, when you divide this by 1 plus x, you will get 1 minus 1 by 1 plus x. So this is clearly less than 1 for all x belong to this interval. So you can take any number, say if it is 1 here, it will be 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. When you give 0 here, it is 0. So clearly this is less than 1. But I have this many numbers here from 0 to infinity. There are many real numbers, but only numbers less than 1 have pre-images and other numbers have no pre-images. Therefore range of R is not equal to the codomain, that is this interval. Hence f is not onto. So here f is not onto. Let us see whether it is 1 1. So f of a is equal to f of b implies, let me consider f of a is equal to f of b, which implies 1 minus 1 by 1 plus a. This one, 1 minus 1 by 1 plus x is f of x. This is the another form of f of x be reduced. So 1 minus 1 by 1 plus a is equal to f of b is 1 minus 1 by 1 plus b. So 1 is eliminated and negative sign will also be eliminated in the next stage. So you get 1 by 1 plus a is equal to 1 by 1 plus b. So you can take the reciprocal, 1 plus a equals 1 plus b. So you can cancel 1, you will get a is equal to b. So that is f of a equals f of b implies a is equal to b. Therefore f is 1 1 here. So f is 1 1. So that is function, this given function is onto, the function is onto, not onto but 1 1. Option A is correct. We have seen that it is not onto but it is 1 1. So option A is the right answer for this question. Let R is equal to ordered pair xy such that x belong to A and y belong to B be a function from A equals 1 2 3 4 to B equals ABC, then number of elements in R is. So clearly it's given that R is a function here, and I have 4 options, that is number of elements in R, that is number of elements in this relation, that is which is a function. We have 81, 64, 4 and 4 to the power of 12. But number of ordered pairs in a function is same as the number of elements in A. So we have to remember this concept. Number of ordered pairs in a function is same as the number of elements in A. Therefore number of elements in A is 4 here, so therefore the answer is 4. So in the next video we will discuss more questions on relation and functions. Thank you.